Hello and welcome to another episode of B-Movie Enema the series. I'm your B-Movie proctologist, Jeff Arbuckle. Over there, joining me as always, is Nurse Disembody. Nurse, what are you looking at?
People seem to be doing something weird out there.
Weird how?
I don't know, just weird.
Oh God, I hope it's not another hate disease. Poop Shoot, are you delivering movies about fighting and bad stuff again? Do we need to call in Cameron Mitchell to fix everything again?
I don't mean weird like that, although I still wouldn't mind punching a mofo if given a reason. No, what I mean is, was there a memo we missed about the dress code for the office?
Not that I'm aware of. Why? What are the people wearing?
Everyone's got a red robe. Kinda stylish, but weird.
I mean, it is October. Maybe it's a costume party, a Red Riding Hood themed party.
If it was a theme party, where's our red hoods? Why weren't we invited?
Well, you did just say you wanted to punch a mofo if you got the chance.
I guess. Anyway, shouldn't you be getting the movie?
Yeah, I suppose so.
What is going on with those people out there?
Alright. Well, this week we've got 1966's Devils of Darkness. And, hey, guess what, Nurse?
You found our red hoods down there?
What? No, Devils of Darkness stars William Sylvester. We saw him in Devil Doll.
Oh no, not another reference to Lindsay Shantef.
Yeah, this whole season of B-Movie Enema the series has been brought to you by Lindsay Shantef.
Sure has.
But this one is not a Lindsay Shantef joint. However, the connectors are there, right? William Sylvester from Devil Doll. Sylvester was married to Veronica Hurst, who was in the second best secret agent in the whole wide world. I mean, the guy's got fingerprints everywhere. Now, when we previously talked about William Sylvester, I don't remember if I said this or not, or if I mischaracterized him as a Brit, but Sylvester was born in 1922 in Oakland, California. But he went into World War II as part of the U.S. Navy. And after the war, he decided to just simply stay in Britain to work on an acting career. Now, I know I mentioned the fact that Sylvester originated the role of Dr. Heywood Floyd in Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Interestingly, he appeared in the 1974 film Busting, directed by Peter Hyams, who directed 2010, The Year We Make Contact, in which Floyd was recast to be Roy Scheider. For him to take up the role. But most people who've seen both movies would likely more associate the role of Floyd to Scheider, as he was the leading character in 2010, and he had lots to do in that movie. But in the section of 2001 that went into the future after the Dawn of Man portion, and until we finally get the Dave and Frank on board the Discovery, Sylvester is indeed the lead character of the film. He's the one who is coming out to the moon to investigate the artifact that was found there, and he was the guy in charge of sending Discovery out to Jupiter. So, yeah, he's a key figure in a very important movie. Sylvester ended up with a bunch of credits. Most of what he did from 1969 to the end of his career in 1983 were TV show appearances, but here we have another leading role for him.
You know, if we can just get away from the Lindsay Shantef related stuff, I'd be pretty okay with that.
Yeah, but I think with that last bit about Sylvester, we can totally move away from him and Shantef for the rest of the season.
Well, that's comforting.
Did you just do a pun?
What are you talking about?
Did you just make a joke about the director of this movie?
Huh?
Lance Comfort? Yeah, you know what? Never mind.
Oh yeah, sure. I purposely used the word comforting to make the joke.
Okay, whatever. Lance Comfort is actually a somewhat interesting director when it comes to British cinema. Comfort worked only for about 25 years, but ended up making 44 directing credits, making him one of the most prolific British directors of all time. Devils of Darkness was his final film, as he sadly died kind of young in 1966 at the age of 58. Later on, he got some positive reappraisal despite his career mostly spent making B-movies and lesser known or lesser appreciated films. This would also be the final script from writer Lynn Fairhurst. According to IMDb, Fairhurst was actually a critic, so maybe he was kind of like Roger Ebert, the critic who also wrote a couple of movies.
Well, I think that's all cool and stuff, but I'm thinking we should find out if this movie is deserving of any praise or reappraisal.
You know what? Agreed. So we'll get into the first segment of Devils of Darkness, and when we return, we'll talk about some of the other notable people in the movie.
Count Sinistre, born 1588. Condemned for his infamous and barbaric crimes to be buried alive. Because thine eye be evil, thy whole body be full of darkness.
Oh, Daria, quickly!
Bruno, bravo! Lots of food! Come, a toast to Tanya! Hey! To Tanya! Come, Tanya! Bruno, as is our custom, the mingling of your blood will join you as one. Tanya, beloved.
Sinistre! Sinistre!
Kill him! Kill him!
Even I! The curse of Sinistre!
Who? Why you?
Awaken. Rise from your sleep. Feel its power drawing you to me. No force on earth or in heaven can destroy the symbol that is Sinistre. This talisman that sets me above everyone. Come. You are my chosen bride. You will follow me to the end of time.
You should not have given him a room, Bouvier.
This terrible storm last night. The road was impossible. I could not refuse to give them shelter.
I shall feel happier when he is gone. What about Mademoiselle Braun?
She is leaving this evening. Now, please, will you excuse me? I have work to do.
Well, get the car fixed, okay?
Yeah, it goes like a bomb.
You missed a good lunch.
Hey, what's all this?
We're going to excavate some caves, back of the village. Well, they're quite something, according to Madeline.
Oh, Keith, drop these in the post box, will you?
Every place we stop, postcards.
Those happen to be the ones you didn't post in Marseille.
Touché. Excuse me. Dave!
Well, car sounded a little healthier.
Yes, but it took them long enough.
About time. Day's half over. Where have you been?
Ate too much.
And Keith, be careful.
Come on now. Stop playing little mother. See what happens when you bring big sister away with you? Now, stop worrying.
Bye now.
See you.
Bye.
Monsieur Baxter, pardon, but what time will you be leaving?
Why, you want to get rid of me?
Oh, no, monsieur, of course not.
Haven't had time to look around yet. Probably tomorrow.
Merci, monsieur.
Hi there.
Hi, Madeline. Finished the packing?
Almost. Just had to come up for air. What a bore. I'm exhausted. Do I need reviving?
Can I get you a drink?
Oh, it's the best offer I've had today.
I'll send for the waiter, monsieur.
We'll be on the terrace.
Stuff I collect, it just mounts up.
Well, travel light. That's my motto.
I agree. The climbing tackle the boys carry around weighs a ton.
Yes, how about these caves here, Madeline? You seen them?
Oh, darling, can you see me crawling around on all fours underground? Ugh. Give me peace and quiet.
Yeah, you certainly get it here. Place could do with a bit of livening up from what I've seen of it.
And spoil my favorite hideaway. That's right. We don't want hordes of trippers tearing the place apart. It's a ghastly thought. Good. I'd like a vodka. Double. Neat.
Cognac for me, please.
And a scotch and soda. Does that character ever talk?
Doesn't like strangers, darling.
They were a bit offhand in the village, too.
Oh, it takes time to know them. Tomorrow, London. Oh, it's a pity I have to go. Tonight of all nights. Still, business calls.
Why? What's so special about tonight?
It's All Souls Eve. It's a big religious ceremony. Oh, you must see it.
What happens?
You'll see, but I promise you it's really something.
Well, I hope the boys will be back in time. They hate to miss out on anything.
Everything all right, Keith?
Yeah, okay.
What did I tell you? And what a marvelous setting for a story.
Eh?
Especially what comes later.
Oh, what happens?
They go down to the graveyard, the ritual. Oh, you must see it for yourself, Paul. The atmosphere alone, it'd make a marvelous horror. You know, ghouls and witches.
Don't let your imagination run away with you.
It's really rather touching. They place candles on the graves of their dear departed. And they also keep one burning in the windows of homes. It's to light the way for returning lost souls who supposedly rise up on All Souls Eve. Oh, you must see it.
You want to go?
I'd love to.
All right, I'll get my coat.
Oh, bring mine too, will you?
That'll be my taxi. Well, I guess this is it. Oh, sorry it's hello and goodbye, and we're all getting to know each other, too. Still, do give me a ring when you get back, won't
I
you?
will.
Paul, you've got my number. Now, don't forget to call me.
Right.
And say goodbye to the boys for me.
Right.
You cold?
It's nothing. Someone walking over your grave. That's what they say, isn't it? Bye now. Mustache.
Bye. Are you ready?
Oh,
All set?
Let's go.
Keith? Keith!
Paul, don't let's go any further.
Why? What's wrong?
Oh, come on, let's go back.
No, just a second. I want to see what's going on down there.
Attendez.
Paul! Paul!
Yeah, what is this?
Go back. Go no further. Let their souls rest in peace. It is too late. The Black Death is upon you. The evil eye.
Yeah, what is this nonsense?
Nothing can protect you from the evil one and those that follow him.
Take me away, Paul.
Don't let her scare you.
Oh, please, let's go.
It is too late. Sinistre, the devil of darkness. Someone close to you, a loved one. The Black Death has struck.
Paul, Keith.
Come on. Stay here.
Nothing can be done, I'm afraid. He's dead.
Most regrettable. But these are the risks they take. If they had asked my permission to go there...
You would have refused?
Most certainly. Such careless young people. It is very dangerous.
Then why isn't it cordoned off? Or some warning there?
Would that have stopped them? The people in the village do not go there. They know better.
What about the other boy, Dave? He's still down there.
Monsieur, the gentleman explained there has been a fall of rock. It is impossible that he could be alive.
So you're going to do nothing?
But we have done what we could. We cannot do more.
Now, the boy's sister, will you see that she comes to my office tomorrow? There are some papers to sign, some formalities, you understand.
Inspector, the doctor...
The doctor has made his report. I'll give it to the lady tomorrow. I suggest you return to the inn, monsieur. There will be no trouble, I think.
Come on, my dear. You must not be alone. If only I could do something to lessen your grief.
It's just that it happened just like she said. A warning.
A warning?
The gypsy.
That is nonsense. You cannot
She
believe
saw
that...
it. The mark of the Black Death. She talked to the evil one and his followers. Oh, I know it sounds
My dear,
silly.
you must forget such tales. Gypsies exist on such legends. Make believe.
But what she said happened.
You cannot connect such talk to the tragedy. It was a coincidence. Tragic, but... My only regret is that we were unable to do more. We heard him cry out, but by the time
Yes,
we
I
got
know.
there...
I know.
Please, let me help you erase this unhappy memory.
How's Miss Forrest? Is she all right?
I don't know. She's not here.
What do you mean?
Well, I left her for just a minute, but when I returned, she'd gone.
Well, perhaps she's gone up to her room.
Of course, I told her she must try and rest.
I'll just check, see if she's all right.
Perhaps the night air will make you sleep.
It's so quiet. So deathly quiet.
But so peaceful.
There's something strange about this place. I feel it. There's a fragrance, a sickly fragrance that reminds me of death. My father, when he died, the room where he lay, it's like that.
You must try and forget such unhappy memories.
I suddenly turned cold. My hands are like ice.
Oh.
Maybe we should go back.
In a moment.
Bonjour, Bouvier.
Ah, bonjour, Monsieur Inspector. It looks like being a fine day.
Yes, a very fine day indeed. I believe Monsieur Baxter expects me.
I will tell him. Would you like some café, perhaps? Café noir ou café crème?
An excellent idea, Bouvier. Café noir, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Ah, bonjour, monsieur. I understand you wish to see me.
Good morning. Look, Inspector.
Shall we,
I'd like to go over once more what happened.
all in good time, please. I prefer you to sit. First, we shall have some coffee.
Please, Inspector, let's not waste time.
It is so strange. You Anglo-Saxons, you have the reputation of being so unemotional, so calm. And we Frenchmen, well, we are supposed to be all poof, poof, poof. But it is not so.
A girl has disappeared. How do you expect me to behave?
Come now, we must discuss this calmly and with reason.
I am trying to be calm, but she's disappeared.
I am aware of that. We have not been idle. My men are still looking. All night they have been searching.
Monsieur?
Thank you, Bouvier. You would like to join me?
No, thank you. Look, is there something I can do?
Ah, excellent. The croissant. Fresh and hot. Are you quite sure? Thank you, Bouvier. Please, monsieur. So you say you heard a scream?
Yes.
Are you certain?
Well, it sounded like a scream.
It sounded like a scream. So you could have been mistaken.
It's possible.
I understand you are a writer, monsieur.
Yes.
What do you write, fact or fiction?
Now, what are you suggesting, that I imagined all this?
There was a gentleman and his wife. Perhaps she left with them.
Inspector, her clothes are still in her room.
Yes. I see. Now, Miss Forrest, she was very upset over her brother's death.
Well, naturally. It was a terrible shock. What are you getting at?
Hello? It is for you, Monsieur Inspector.
Thank you. If you will excuse me. Hello? This is Inspector Malin speaking. Ah, I see. Miss Forrest, I see. Please attend to it. I shall come over immediately. Monsieur, her body was discovered in the lake. It seems she took her own life.
I don't believe it.
Please, I must go.
Well, I'll go with you.
No, you will not.
But she was an old friend. I insist.
I insist that you stay here, monsieur. This is a police matter.
Look, Inspector.
You will hear from me later when I have concluded my report. Bonjour, monsieur.
I'm so sorry, monsieur. Apologies, monsieur. I did not wish to wake you, but there is someone to see you. I know it is late, but...
I'll come right down.
Your bed, monsieur. I will attend to it.
Oh, good evening.
Oh, my apologies for calling on you at this late hour. But I had to come and offer my condolences. My wife, too. Oh, she's so upset. If only she had not left her.
Oh, please, she's in no way to blame.
If there is anything I can do, you have only to ask.
Well, these people, this village.
Village? What do you mean? I don't understand, monsieur.
There's something they're afraid of.
Oh, monsieur, it's your imagination.
You saw them at the cave. They all ran away.
Monsieur, you are an intelligent man. These are simple peasants. The superstition? The celebration last night? One mustn't take it seriously, monsieur.
Yeah, but the gypsy.
Would you listen to such foolishness in your own country? Oh, I can understand how you must feel, but come now.
I tell you, there is something wrong, and I'm going to prove it.
Prove? What can you do, monsieur?
Get a second medical opinion, for one thing. I'm having the bodies flown back to England. I shall insist on a post-mortem.
But that is nonsense, monsieur.
Maybe. I just have this feeling, and I've got to be sure. And there's also something else.
Something else? You were about to say...
This is a very beautiful piece of work.
Please be careful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a foolish toy, monsieur.
A toy? I might have killed you.
I doubt it. But you were about to tell me something.
That crest.
Oh, it is of no significance. Just an antique. You have seen this before?
No. I was just interested, that's all. Look, if you'll excuse me, I have to be up early. I'm leaving the first thing in the morning for England, so goodbye, monsieur.
Oh, not goodbye. I have the feeling we shall meet again.
Yes, perhaps.
I'm sure of it. But next time, under happier circumstances. Monsieur.
So now what's going on out there?
I don't know. It's like these people have torches and they're walking in a line. It looks like some sort of religious ceremony.
You know, that reminds me of something in this movie. They talk about how the villagers in this place that Sylvester's Paul and friends are vacationing to do some sort of religious ceremony, but you know what that means, right? I mean, it's probably some devil shit going on. Is that what's going on out there, nurse? Some devil shit?
I don't know, probably. Although, for some reason, it might also be vampire shit. Are vampire cults a thing? Devil cults are definitely a thing, but are vampire cults real? I feel safe in saying it's some sort of nefarious shit either way.
Well, that's just swell. In Devils of Darkness, we first meet Count Sinistre, which is spelled very similarly to Sinister. So, you know, he's the bad guy. But I think he's a vampire, as we saw in the 1500s when he attacked the Romani girl Tanya, and then he later married her. But in the present of 1965, Paul and his friends are hanging out in this town, and all his friends die. He returns to England, the sole survivor, which, I don't know, I mean, seems like he could very easily be questioned by the local authorities about possible involvement, but I don't know, what do I know?
The one inspector guy was working with him when that lady went missing, though he doesn't seem all that worried about it or all that good at his job.
Yeah, I would have lots of questions about how serious he's taking his job, but anyway, that's Inspector Malin, played by Peter Illing. Illing was born in 1899 in Austria. He ended up with over 100 credits or appearances in films and television shows. Illing was mostly a character actor, but like director Comfort, he also passed away in 1966. Our Sinister Sinistre is played by Hubert Noel, another longtime character actor. He was mostly known for playing guys you probably wouldn't like much. He's from France. He ended up with over 70 roles in a nearly 40-year career, which he continued to work right up to his death in 1987. One thing he became fairly well known for throughout his career was doing dubbing. He often dubbed lots of major English-speaking stars for films that were shown in Europe. And when you look at Noel in this movie, you just know he's up to no good, right? I mean, like, he looks like he's going to be a bad guy. And they didn't even let that be a mystery right out of the gate. He's unearthed and he's just immediately flies off to do devil vampire shit. The Romani girl he kills, turns, and marries is Tanya, played by Carol Gray. Gray was born in what was called Rhodesia, which is now part of Zimbabwe. She was an early scream queen, at least in the parlance of what we recognize today as a scream queen. Right around this time, she was starring in a couple of other horror films like Island of Terror and the third film in the original Fly series, Curse of the Fly. Shortly after this movie, she returned to Africa and appeared on stage performing in popular plays like Harvey, about the guy who sees an invisible bunny, and Fiddler on the Roof, the play about the guy who fiddles on the roof. But Nurse, you ready for another connection to Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, sure. Just as long as we don't tie back to yet another Lindsay Shantef, we can connect whatever other dots you have.
All right. Well, we met Madeline Braun in the first segment. She was the one who suggested Paul and his friends come out to that small village. She's a socialite art dealer or antiquity dealer or something. Anyway, she's played by Diana Decker. Decker was multi-talented. She was an actor as well as a singer. She also did some of those panel games like we see back in the 50s in America, where celebrity panelists play with normal people or whatever and to do whatever the game is. Think of something like I've Got a Secret or Password. Those types of games. Anyway, while she didn't have too many roles, Devils of Darkness, again, was her final role, as the 60s was basically about the end of her career. This was the only horror film she ever did, but her connection to Kubrick was in a supporting role in 1962's Lolita. Now, we'll come back around to Kubrick a little later with another actress we will meet in the next segment.
I like Diana Decker's IMDb profile pictures. She looks like a serious ball buster.
Yeah, she does.
You said that in a weird way.
Yeah, I did.
Are you? You're turned on by her profile pic, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Ugh, I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah, you are.
Can we just move on?
And the final friend of Paul's to go missing and or killed in this bizarre village is played by Ronna Anderson. Now, Anderson was a Scottish actress. Say, Nurse, what's Anne's relationship to Paul?
Beats me.
Yeah. That's part of my only complaint about this movie. Paul is in this village, and he seems to be acquaintances or good friends with Madeline, and we will see later in this movie that he's got other good acquaintances and friends back in England, Madeline being one of them. But the people he's here with in this village, Anne and the two guys who die in the cave, I don't feel like they're all that well acquainted. I mean, Anne stays behind and wishes one of the guys to be safe, but it seems as though that guy was her younger brother. The other guy was just a friend, but what's Anne's relationship to Paul?
Maybe she's his girlfriend? They're holding hands at one point when they go to check out the village devil shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't really feel like a coupling. It's like they're related by blood somehow, or just really good platonic friends. It's weird. I mean, he does care a great deal about her going missing, but he doesn't come off as broken up like a lover would be. He hardly cares about the other two guys at all.
Yeah, it's a little unclear. The movie is too slow to not be able to tell us exactly what their relationship is.
Yeah, I almost feel like they had to figure out a way to get Paul and Sinise together in the plot, but there was no way to make a guy like Paul be naturally curious or end up in a scenario in which the rest of the movie could happen without Anne. It's just a little messy.
That's putting it lightly.
Uh-oh, sounds like somebody is not liking this movie too much so far.
It could still try to win me over.
Well, there is one final piece of business to deal with here in this village before Paul returns to England, but will the possession of Sinise's talisman bring the problem back with him? Let's find out.
Sinistre! 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 We await your command!
I, Sinistre, leader of the living dead, summon you and others who follow, both near and afar, to pledge allegiance to the devil of darkness.
We follow, O Master. We are your slaves. We obey without question.
They, who were chosen to submit to servitude, must be cast out. The stranger who threatens to expose us must be struck down. We will go in their place. The talisman, the all-powerful symbol that protects us, must be restored.
My lord Sinistre. Master, take mine, I beg you.
You, who defy the sacred symbol, must perish.
Madeline, I'm just not satisfied.
Paul, I know how you feel, but what good will it do?
It'll prove I'm right for one thing.
But the doctor's report, surely that's enough.
It isn't enough for me.
But if the autopsy proves you're wrong.
Okay, then I made a lot of fuss over nothing.
And what about Anne's family? Haven't you considered their feelings?
Oh, family. An uncle in Canada she hasn't seen for years.
Well, if you insist on going through with it.
Well, I have to, for my own peace of mind.
Well, you know best.
Believe me, Madeline, I hope I am wrong. And I'm sorry I blew up like that.
Oh, that's all right. I understand. Oh, and call me as soon as you have any news. Bye, Paul.
I know.
Oh, Doctor, Mr. Baxter is here.
Oh, welcome to the zoo.
Hi, Bob.
Sorry I had to drag you down here all this way. You sounded pretty worried on the phone.
Confused is more like it.
What's it all about? You don't mind, do you? I'm up to my eyes in it.
You carry on. Sorry to disturb you, but I had to talk to someone.
Okay, talk.
Bob, you must have come up against some weird superstitions in your travels.
Many times.
Now, I don't mean amongst primitive jungle tribes.
Oh, look now, you don't have to wear a loincloth or beat a tom-tom to be primitive. Or, for that matter, superstitious. Do you walk under ladders?
No.
Superstition?
Maybe superstition's the wrong word. What about supernatural?
Well, like they say, there are more things in heaven and earth, etc., etc. Scientists have only scratched the surface of the extraterrestrial. We have to rely on psychology rather than on the so-called material proof.
Now, take witchcraft. Everyone knows that one out with the Middle Ages.
Oh, you think so? Do you know when the last witchcraft trial took place? 1926, France. There was another case in New York a few years ago. A man hired a character who supposedly had the evil eye. His job was to frighten the men working under him. Oh, I know, it sounds crazy, but it's absolutely true. Take my work here. Snake venom and its effect on animals. Poison to cure human beings. If I was in the jungle, I'd be a witch doctor, right?
Well, how about those coffins? They couldn't just vanish.
So somebody took them. And at a rough guess, I'd say that somebody didn't want you to have those bodies examined.
Yeah, that's what I think. If there's another reason, I'd be very glad to hear it.
What made you suspicious in the first place?
The gypsy. She predicted it.
Crystal gazing, I know nothing about. You haven't much to go on, have you?
No. Can you see the police being interested in Black Death and evil eye talk? They'd have me certified.
Hey, what about that medallion you mentioned? Have you got it?
Yeah. Of course, there may be no connection.
You should have handed it over, you know.
I just thought it might be tied up somehow.
Well, you could be right. There's your evil eye.
Yeah?
Snake or serpent, whatever it is. Come over here. That's how he catches his victim. He hypnotizes it. Freezes it with a look so that it can't move, then he makes his strike. Here we have the bat effigy. In many countries, they are said to have occult power.
What, those things?
Uh-huh.
They look harmless enough.
They do carry rabies, you know. Oh, not that lot, don't worry.
What do you think, Bob? Think there may be something in all this?
Well, you want something more concrete before you go to the police. Is there nobody else that can help? Somebody that knows the village, perhaps?
There's Madeline Braun. She's been there a couple of times on holiday.
Well, what are you waiting for, man? Get on to her.
Madeline, do you mean to tell me that people are actually going to buy these? I mean, look at this one.
You'd be surprised, darling. I know my American tourists.
They must be out of their tiny minds.
Put it there, darling. Oh. Hello, the odd spot. Hello. Paul!
Hey, Madeline, where do you want these?
Oh, hold on a minute, will you? Oh, darling, Karen, be an angel and give Derek a hand.
I'm sorry, of course.
Put it in the back there, darling. Sorry, Paul. Yes, I read about it. I called you last night. Oh, darling, I hate to be a bore, but, well, I'm madly busy at the moment. Could it wait?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that village we stayed at in Brittany. Yes, but you know the place. I thought you might be able to tell me something. Well, anything. No. It's nothing to do with the police. I talked it over with a friend of mine who does research at Rayburn's lab. He thinks I may be onto something.
Oh, darling, I do think you're becoming a little, well, obsessed with all this. But if you think I could help, look, why don't you come over this evening? About 9:30?
Right. Fine. Thanks, Madeline.
Oh, Mr. Baxter?
Yes?
Good morning. I'm Inspector Hardwick, Scotland Yard. I wonder if I could have a word with you.
Yes, well, you better come in then.
Thank you.
Scotland Yard, eh? And you never mentioned the autopsy?
Oh, what's the point? I've nothing to go on except a hunch. They said it was just a routine call. They've no idea how or why the coffin's vanished.
I've had quite a day. Been doing a little research. I spent the afternoon at the British Museum. If you ever get bored, I can recommend the North Library.
What'd you find out?
Here we are. A talisman. Your medallion. A talisman, an object which is said to possess a supernatural power. See ceremonial magic, otherwise the art of dealing with spirits. In a word, necromancy or sorcery. The raising of the souls from another world.
All Souls Eve.
By the way, do you know why a bridegroom carries his bride across the threshold?
No.
The door was where the devil or those of the evil eye were said to congregate. Just a little something I thought you might like to know. Now then, where was I? Yes. Witchcraft.
Black magic?
Well, now, that's not a criminal offense since 1736. But last year there was a lot of publicity in England about some mysterious rituals, grave openings, bodies being removed. However, it's all there. I hope you can sort it out with the help of Madeline.
Yeah, almost forgot. Better be getting over there. Well, thanks again for doing the spade work.
It's quite an eye-opener in an evil sort of way. Back to the Bunsen burner.
Bye, Bob.
So long, Paul.
gal.
Hello.
You'll find out who's who later, darling. Names are such a bore to remember. Derek, just grab yourself a drink, dear, and then put yourself about.
Okay.
Hi, Karen.
Hello, Derek.
Oh, very dolly.
Down, boy.
Go on, darlings. Mix and mingle.
What'll it be?
Vodka.
With it?
With it? I'll say she is. Welcome. The elephant's graveyard, my dear. About time some of these were put out to pasture.
Well? A model, eh? How old is she? Difficult to tell in those glasses.
Oh, just turned 20.
Must have been a U-turn.
Now, darling. No need to be bitchy. Oh, sweetie.
I thought...
Darling, they just descended. Oh, you know how it is. Now, I did phone you, but there was no answer. Oh, come on now, relax. It'll do you good. We'll have a little talk another time tomorrow.
I don't think I should.
I won't hear of you rushing off like that. Karen, I want you to meet Paul. Be an angel, darling. Look after him. He needs cheering up.
Hello.
Go on, you two. Have fun. Colonel, come along.
Well, you heard the lady.
Yes, I heard it.
I think a drink to start off with. You look as though you could do with one.
Yeah, I could do with more than one.
So who's counting? See the effect I have? Or is it Johnny Walker?
No. You're right the first time. Wrong the second. Canadian Club.
Anyway, you're feeling better. I can see that.
I'm surprised you can see anything in those. Why all this mystery bit?
Which is part of the image.
Well, I can't bear talking to anyone wearing dark glasses. Mind if I destroy the image a little?
Don't be too destructive.
Yes, that's better.
Same goes for you. Now you're in focus.
Yeah. I bet you live alone, like it, and in show business, right?
I live alone, loathe it, and I'm a model. Off and on.
And when you're off?
Oh, you name it and I've done it. Right now I'm working for Madeline.
You in antiques?
Oh, well, makes for contacts. An artist came in the other day looking for a model, so...
So you're on again, huh?
Looks like it. He's supposed to be here this evening. Coming to talk business.
Best of luck.
Thank you. I might need it. I can't figure him out. Or myself either, for that matter. Still, it's a job.
What are you doing after it's fixed?
Go back to my one-roomed fire trap, I suppose.
Does it have a phone?
Cromwell 2400.
I get a better idea. You get hungry, I know a place with the scrambled eggs are great.
I never eat breakfast. Still, if it's as good as you say it may be.
I cook in a non-stick frying pan.
Well, eggs make a change from etchings.
Now, Paul. Mustn't monopolize. Come on, Karen, darling. Circulate.
Well, you heard the lady.
I heard.
I think this is where I came in. I may see you later, then.
I can't wait to see your kitchen.
Look, say goodbye to all my friends.
Okay.
Ah, Karen, my sweetheart.
Oh, be a doll and get me a drink, will you? I have to see a man about an address. Paul? Paul?
Good evening, my dear. My apologies for startling you.
Oh, good morning, Inspector. Sergeant.
Morning. You're having quite a time of it, one way and another, eh? All this for nothing.
As I told the constable last night, nothing was missing.
Yes. What's over there?
Bedroom.
I'll have a look at it, will you, Sarge? What about windows?
All locked.
Front door?
That was open when I came home.
What time was that?
About 2:30. I'd been to a party.
What time did you go there?
About 10.
Did you notice anybody hanging around outside when you left the flat?
No, but I was in a hurry. I just came home for a minute and then popped out again.
You were in a hurry, eh?
You're not suggesting that
That you didn't close it? Well, it has happened. I've done it myself before now. So that doesn't explain why they went to so much trouble. For nothing. You haven't been plagued by anonymous phone calls or such like?
Regarding what?
Oh, practical jokers. We've had a spate of them just lately, getting us out on wild goose chases. False fire alarms, phony robberies, coffins disappearing.
That was no practical joke, Inspector.
Yeah, pretty bad taste, if it was.
Anything been reported?
No, nothing so far.
Nothing back there, sir. Windows and door okay.
Look, Mr. Baxter, if, as you say, nothing was stolen, is there anything they may have been after?
No, nothing.
Are you quite sure?
Why should I keep anything back?
Oh, you'd be surprised how reluctant some people are to give us the full facts. I think they like to make us earn our pay. We get the complete runaround sometimes. And who knows? Some of them probably do have something to hide.
Well, look, Inspector, I've told you everything I know.
Yes, I'm quite sure you have. Still, if you do happen to remember any little thing that might give us a lead. Oh, yes, and there is one other thing, Mr. Baxter. I understand you know Dr. Kelsey.
Dr. Kelsey? Yes, I was with him last night.
That's right. Your name was in his diary. You saw him before you went to the party?
What's all this about, Inspector?
Mr. Baxter, what time did you leave Dr. Kelsey?
About 9:30.
I see. That's about the time of his death.
He's dead?
Oh, didn't you know? They found him this morning. It was on the radio.
What happened?
Oh, an accident. A poisonous snake had escaped. The doctor was bitten. He was also rather badly crushed. A heavy cage fell on him. I'm sorry to break this to you so suddenly, Mr. Baxter. Bad luck seems to be following you around, doesn't it? Well, you'll be hearing from us. Oh, and I'd like to hear from you if you do happen to remember anything that might help us. Any little thing.
Yes. Oh, Inspector.
Yes?
Well, thank you again.
Magic and the supernatural, a treasury of witchcraft, schizophrenia, and the Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology. That's 4 to go on with. I'll check on the others.
Well, this will keep you busy for a while, thanks.
I'm dying for a drink. How about you?
Thank you, my dear, but no. I would much prefer if we could continue.
Okay, do you mind if I slip across the pub for a moment or two?
I shall be here.
You sure there's nothing I can get you?
Nothing, thank you.
How's it going? Pleased?
You are a perfect subject, my dear. I only hope I can do you justice.
Oh, have I interrupted?
Oh, Corinne, I would like you to meet my wife.
Hello.
You are leaving?
Oh, I'm coming back.
Oh?
Unless you'd rather make it tomorrow.
I would prefer that we continue tonight.
All right, I'll see you later then. Goodbye.
It is obvious she knew you were displeased.
You did not tell her that you had a wife.
Is it important?
To me, yes.
Tanya. You know the reason why this girl was chosen. She will be the hostage. The talisman must be given back to us.
And then?
She's of no further use.
Oh, Armand, is this true? Tell me she means nothing to you.
How can you doubt me? Did I not choose you? Go now. The talisman must be returned.
What if the Englishman refuses?
You will not refuse.
But he is suspicious. He asks questions about it.
Then we must ensure that his questions are not answered. You must watch. Go now, before she returns.
Excuse me, sir. The book Talisman's the Power of Magic. It's not available. What do you mean it's not available? Well, it's in our restricted section, sir. Well, is it possible to have a look at it? Not today, sir, no. I'm afraid it's almost closing time. Oh, well. Well, thank you. Sir, no smoking permitted.
Hello? Cromwell 2400?
Hello, may I speak to Miss Karen Steele, please?
Yes. Hold on, will you? Karen! Miss Steele, telephone. Miss Steele, telephone. Miss Steele, telephone. Miss Steele?
What?
You're wanted on the telephone.
Oh, it's much too early.
Hello? I'm afraid Miss Steele isn't in. Oh, well, it's hard to say. She comes and goes. Yes?
Would you tell her Mr. Baxter called? My number's Chelsea 3131.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Excuse me. Oh, sir. I'm terribly sorry, but the book Talisman's the Power of Magic.
Yes?
We don't have it, sir. Yesterday you said you had it. It's missing. We've looked everywhere. Missing? I've got a terrible suspicion that it's been stolen. As far as I know, it's the only copy in England. Well, if it does show up, will you put it aside for me? Yes, of course, sir. It's extraordinary the interest in the occult these days. Yes. If you do find it, call me, will you? Thanks. Thank you, sir.
yes. You called this morning. Yes, I gave her your message, Mr. Baxter. No, I'm afraid she isn't. Well, it looks as if she's gone. Her clothes are all gone. No. Hello?
Karen, are you ill?
It's nothing. It's gone now.
But you're trembling. Perhaps if you rest.
No,
Please.
I'll be all right in a minute, really.
You must take care, my dear.
Your hand. It's so cold.
Karen.
No.
Karen.
No, please. No.
Darling, you know what these girls are like. Completely irresponsible.
No, not Karen.
Hey, what is this? Don't tell me you and Karen. Well, what do you know?
Now be serious, Madeline.
You're serious and no mistake. And to think I brought you two together. The party was a success.
This artist that was coming, did he show up?
What? Oh, darling, to be perfectly honest, it got so mad I don't know who was there and who wasn't.
You don't know who he is or anything?
Oh, sweetie, you know Chelsea. People come and people go. Oh, now, you mustn't get in a tiz. She'll turn up, I'm sure of it. Now, look, if you want that little talk, you know the villagers, Paul.
I think it may be a bit late for talking, Madeline.
Paul.
All right, so Anne really got it pretty bad at the start of that segment, didn't she? Now, I'm not sure if she was some sort of sacrifice or was going to be turned into a monster person or whatever, but Sinise burns her to death with a torch.
Pretty gnarly, I guess.
People still being weird out there in the office building?
Yeah, now they have coffins out there and they're moving around it like they're doing the hokey pokey.
Not the hokey pokey.
Yeah, definitely some devil shit going on out there.
Well, anyway, this is one of those movies in which you can't really trust anyone. As we saw right at the start of that last segment, when they killed Anne, everyone in this village is part of the cult run by devil vampire man Sinise. We see the waiter and the manager from the hotel, the inspector. Everyone there is under the power of the vampire guy. But are they also vampires, or are they just enthralled by him? I mean, what was the plan here? I'm picking up several different ideas here. There's a cult. There's obvious magic. Sinise turned into a bat, so he's a vampire. There's a talisman, which also seems to be based in witchcraft. I feel like this movie wanted to be something specific, but then also wanted to have all these other monster types or supernatural things involved too.
Yeah, it's obvious our bad guy's a vampire, but where's all the blood sucking? I want to see some vampire action. I mean, that one chick who comes off a little Audrey Hepburn and a little bit of a 60s version of a manic pixie dream girl has our vampire man nuzzling in her neck, but where's the blood? Where's the real biting down on her neck? Where's it at, Jeff? I want vampire action.
Yeah, it's weird. The easy joke is to say that this is British, so it opts to go tame instead of really getting to the blood and sex of a vampire scenario, but that's not so much the case, now is it? Hammer was out there making all sorts of Dracula movies in the 60s with blood, biting necks, and all sorts of sexy cleavage on its victims. That's why I said this movie feels like it wants to have the bad guy be something like a vampire, but more than a vampire, but also backs off with the sex element too. He clearly has people under his mental command, but they aren't acting all that sinister or like they're even being controlled. It's a really confusing movie to put your finger on, as to what the actual cult is and what the power that the main guy has. In some ways it's clear. He has followers who are enthralled to him in some way. Some of them are made immortal, near vampire-like creatures, I guess. But in other ways, they're just normal people doing his bidding, but also kind of lackadaisical about it. Yeah, I guess I'll do my evil cult leader's bidding, but I won't be too obvious about it. Anyway. That girl nurse disembody called both Audrey Hepburn and a manic pixie dream girl is Karen, played by Tracy Reed. Now, she comes into this high society party that Madeline is throwing. Now, she works for Madeline temporarily, but her actual profession is as a model. Now, Tracy Reed is our final major connection to Stanley Kubrick for this film. She's also our first of two connections to James Bond in this segment. Reed didn't have a massive career, and it really only lasted about a dozen years or so and 30 films, but she was quite appreciated, mostly for playing attractive women. At one point, when Diana Rigg was leaving the Avengers, Reed was considered a replacement, but that didn't happen. A memorable role for her came in 1964 when she appeared as Miss Scott in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. The role was memorable for two reasons. First, she was George C. Scott's General Turgidsen's mistress and appeared only in a tiny bathing suit. Second, she was the lone woman in the cast of the film. I also like when she appears in the movie, she gets a call from the president. She answers because Turgidsen is busy taking a shit in the bathroom. It's great. But that same year, she also appeared in another Peter Sellers movie, A Shot in the Dark, which, as I mentioned last week, was the first sequel to The Pink Panther, and the only movie in the series that didn't have the words Pink Panther in the title. So, The Devils of Darkness actually came along at a time in which she was riding high off of those two films. She later appeared in the 1967 Bond parody Casino Royale as a femme fatale. Now, don't get me started on that version of Casino Royale. The only thing good about the movie was the music from the film. But that's actually 3 films right there that I mentioned from her filmography that starred Peter Sellers.
I hope they liked each other or would be pretty uncomfortable working together all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, just 2 last people to talk about here. Upon returning to England, Paul talks to Inspector Hardwick. Hardwick is played by Victor Brooks. Brooks ended up with something like 140 roles in movies and on TV shows. He appeared in the 1963 sci-fi horror classic The Day of the Triffids, a movie that also featured Carol Ann Ford, who played Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, in the early days of Doctor Who. He also appeared in the consensus greatest James Bond film ever, Goldfinger, so there's our other connection to James Bond. Playing Dr. Kelsey, we have Eddie Byrne. Byrne racked up 100 roles in his career. Again, he was mostly a character actor, but there are a few recognizable films on his resume. These included the 1962 version of Mutiny on the Bounty, a pair of 1959 films, The Mummy and Jack the Ripper, and he also appeared in Island of Terror with Carol Gray. However, later on, his final live-action role was in 1977 with Star Wars.
Never heard of it.
Har har.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. There's clearly vampire and or devil shit going on out there. I'm gonna go out there and bust it up. We clearly need to make it possible for us to leave here tonight when we're through, and that's gonna be hard if we have a cult doing weirdo cult things in the lobby.
Alright, fair enough. Good luck with that.
Lock and load, baby. Lock and load.
Okie dokie, let's get into the finale of Devils of Darkness, and hopefully Nurse Disembody will get rid of all this cult business outside our office.
Well, I'm glad you've decided to take us into your confidence at long last, Mr. Baxter.
Well, I'm sorry, Inspector, but I had nothing to go on. Nothing tangible.
And it took a girl's disappearance to stop you playing detective, eh?
Well, this also may be just a hunch. I've no proof she's mixed up in all this.
You know, for a time, I thought that you were mixed up in it, whatever it is.
Me?
Dr. Kelsey. His death was no accident. He was murdered. Those 2 marks on his neck might have been a snake bite.
But he didn't die of poisoning. That snake's venom had already been extracted.
That's funny. Miss Forrest, the girl who was drowned, and her brother Keith. They also had 2 marks on their necks.
Did they, indeed? Now, look, Mr. Baxter, don't you think it's about time you told me everything? Tangible and otherwise?
Karin? Karin! What are you doing here?
Your girl, Karen.
Yes?
I know the reason why you have brought her here.
Oh, you know.
And what she means to you. You tell me that she is a hostage, but she's here to take my place. Oh! Please, I beg of you, send her away. Haven't I served you, carried out your every wish?
And you will continue to do so.
Please, send her away, get rid of her.
Only when the talisman has been returned.
That is not true. She is here to take my place. That is what you want. I know it.
Silence! I must have the talisman by sunset tomorrow.
Please, I beg of you, do not send me away.
Go, I tell you.
I am dismissed.
Until I summon you again.
You know, when I was a youngster, I used to conjure up all sorts of faces, phantoms, demons and the like, just gazing into the fire. And as for making up ghost stories, I could scare the living daylights out of myself sometimes. He should have been a writer. Mm-hmm. I know one thing. What you've just told me beats any story I ever dreamed up, or read about for that matter.
It's the truth, Inspector.
That man who found the boy's body and his wife, could you describe them to me?
Yes, he was quite distinguished looking. Around 35 to 40. Dark. His wife was very attractive, kind of gypsy-ish.
What was his name again?
Molière. Armand de Molière. Yes, he was very charming. But I got the feeling it was affected. He was much too smooth.
You know, what beats me is why Dr. Kelsey was killed. You sure you didn't tell anybody he was helping you?
No.
Not even Karen Steele?
No. Now, I'm very worried about her, Inspector.
Yeah, so I've gathered.
Crazy, isn't it? You meet someone only once.
Hey, you know, it's 1:30.
Oh, sorry. Didn't realize it was so late. Shall I ring for a cab?
No, thanks. The walk will do me good. And I'll take this ugly little brute along with me. Well, I must say, it's a change from the usual routine. Don't bother, I'll see myself out. Good night.
Good night, Inspector. Hello? Yes, Madeline. Karen. I'll be right over.
When I came home, the door was open, and there it was.
Well, who could have brought it and why?
You tell me. The artist, maybe?
Just a minute.
Look.
His signature?
The serpent and the bat. The talisman.
Talisman?
Yes, a medallion I found the night Anne disappeared. I thought it might have something to do with her death. A clue.
Paul, don't think me mad, but could this be some sort of a warning, a message, or...
Karen's been kidnapped? The medallion is the ransom?
Yes. Do you have it?
No, I gave it to the police.
The police? Are you mad?
Madeline, what's the matter?
Oh, you fool. Don't you know what you've done?
What are you talking about?
Karen, she's in danger. If anything happens to her, can't you see what you've done? You must get it back. Somehow.
I know how you feel, but I think I'll just take this along with me.
But it may be too late. Get the medallion.
Sorry, Madeline, but I've got to do this my way.
Please, let me go.
Devils of Darkness, eh? Count Sinistre. Otherwise Armand du Molière, born 1588.
It's the same man, Inspector, but it's not possible.
Well, I don't profess to know anything about reincarnation, and I certainly never believed in black magic until now.
The raising of the dead, the ritual, it all fits.
Yes, and his followers have started up over here now. Sarge, get on to Interpol. See if they've got anything on this Stu Moliere and on that village.
Malin, the local police inspector. He must have known about this.
Got that? Oh, and post a couple of men outside, will you?
Right. Inspector, if this picture was to scare me off, why this? Why this tip-off?
I'd say somebody was stepping out of line by the look of things. Pity you disturbed them before they finished the message. The O. I wonder what that means. The only? The old something?
Odd? The odd spot? Madeline's shop?
Yes. Yes, I think we better have a few words with Miss Madeline Braun. Madeline Braun, is she here?
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Inspector Hardwick, Scotland Yard.
Is she upstairs?
She's not here, I tell you. She's gone away.
Well, we'll take a look up there anyway. Excuse me.
What's it all about?
What's upstairs?
Well, just an attic. Here, I'm not supposed to go up there. Aren't you? I don't know what you expect to find there.
Never mind that. Open it.
See? I told you.
You know where she's gone?
Dunno. To the country somewhere. A truck arrived yesterday morning.
The truck? What for?
Looked like a couple of coffins. She gets all kinds of antiques, you know.
Inspector. Got the dough from France. They're on the same thing over there. That Inspector Malin character got arrested yesterday morning. And a whole crowd of them from the village. It's black magic, all right. They're on their way over here to some place called Ferndale.
Well, there must be dozens of places called Ferndale. Did they say which one?
No. By the way, seen this?
What happened?
Look.
Cover it.
Sinistre. He mustn't know.
We can't tell him. Madeleine, he mustn't find out. First the talisman. And now this.
Fool. The girl is all he really wants.
And Tanya?
He wants Karen. He can have her. We'll offer her to him tonight.
The sacrifice?
The initiation will take place at midnight.
Darling,
Karen? Get out!
Karen. I want to talk to Karen. I want to give Karen a drink.
Get out!
Karen, why can't you be nice to me, Karen? Why can't you be kind to me, Karen?
Leave her alone, you fool!
What do you want to do that for? Oh, no, 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 no.
You are not only beautiful, my dear. You are also very brave.
As brave as I? Your followers, Master. They await you. Please, I would like to help.
How did they get onto Malin then?
Remember the waiter? Plainclothes man. As soon as he nailed the inspector, the whole village opened up.
Well, it took them long enough.
Well, fear can be a terrible thing, Mr. Baxter. And when you're monkeying with black magic, who knows what you're up against?
Arise. Prepare the circle that binds you as one.
We are one, O Master. We follow your bidding.
Harbour here. Go ahead.
Ferndale Division reports Madeline Braun has country home about a mile from village. Edge of woods near cemetery. The old manor. End of message.
Thank you very much. Out. The odd spot, the old manor. And it's near the cemetery. That's the place, all right. Come on.
You, who follow the devil of darkness, pledge allegiance.
We follow, O Master. We are your slaves. We obey without question.
In the name of our Lord Satan, do you acknowledge the powers of darkness?
We do. We follow the orders of the Sinistre.
The one who defiled the sacred talisman has been struck down?
Get every available man.
Sir.
And hurry.
Calling all cars in V Division. Calling all cars in V Division. Proceed to the old manor, Ferndale, immediately. Proceed to the old manor, Ferndale, immediately.
Before you is the neophyte who shall be initiated into the order. Before you is the convert who will serve as high priestess and become my chosen bride. With her own blood, I will make the mark of the sacred talisman.
You will awaken to find life everlasting.
Inspector.
Sacrifice to the devil. To Satan. To Satan. To Satan. No, she cannot be yours. Look. She has the mark of the cross.
I can't help but notice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't help but notice you have yourself one of those culty red robe things.
Yep.
Care to explain that?
I figured if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
So, are you a vampire now?
No.
Okay, are you a witch?
Nope, not a witch.
Do you have any kind of magic?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are you mind controlled by the cult leader?
Vaguely, I guess?
Vaguely? So like, you can just, like, do whatever of your own free will?
Well, sort of. Sometimes, I guess. I mean, the cult leader is my Dark Lord and Master, and he does feed from my blood, but I don't feel like one of those mindless zombie-like hypnotized slaves or whatever. In fact, I can do my normal work and throw big, high society parties and stuff.
Then what's the point of the cult?
To do whatever our Dark Lord and Master commands of us.
Wait, didn't you just say you were only vaguely controlled?
Yeah.
But I'm so confused.
Trust me, I am totally devoted to our Dark Lord and Master. I am his blood vessel for him to feed upon, but I'm still mostly my normal self. I just have to go to him whenever he mentally calls to me and wear these really nice and silky red robes as I do his bidding without a single thought of resistance. It's not a bad situation if you ask me. I mean, you can ask me, but I'm already programmed to tell you that everything is A-okay with me and that I'm normal, but in truth, I'm a completely brainwashed slave of the Dark Lord and Master.
Your cult is confusing and weird.
That's religion for you.
Are you still, like, able to do, like, your normal review of the movie?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I am completely brainwashed and a loyal slave to the Dark Lord and Master, but I do still have my own free will to review movies.
Fine. Whatever.
I really wanted to like this movie, but, I mean, it's way too slow and it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a vampire movie? Does it want to be a mind-controlling evil cult leader movie? What is it? The dialogue didn't grab me. In fact, it was kinda stinky. I thought I might like the tone or the mood of this movie, but it just didn't work out. I think the dialogue and the pace of the plot just killed the movie. Plus, I kept getting distracted by the pounds of makeup caked onto every actor and actress. Then, the main bad guy, Mr. Sinister, whatever his name was, he was defeated by his own dumbassery by walking into a cross. That was after God apparently struck the house with lightning. Is that what happened? Oh, whatever. I don't know and I don't think I care. I guess everyone died, but the guy in his mid to late 40s gets the 20-something girl at the end.
I mean, that last thing was kind of cool from my point of view.
Hush you. I have to give Devils of Darkness a watery 2 poops out of 5. Did my review please you, my Dark Lord and Master?
Yes, my beautiful nurse disembodied. You have done well. This movie did a very bad job at portraying a weird cult. Or sort of mind control and sort of vampire and sort of devil shit. This is not how it is done.
Of course it's you.
Yes, Dr. Jeff. It is I, the great Devilini, master hypnotist and now the powerful leader of a cult of my own.
All hail the great Devilini, our all-powerful Dark Lord and Master!
Yes, very good indeed.
Fuck off and give me back my nurse.
Oh, okay. I will do so, but only because it suits me to do so.
Oh, hey, I'm thinking much more clearly now. Thanks, Jeff.
But it was I who released you, not Dr. Jeff. Me, the great Devilini.
Sometimes you just gotta give Jeff a W from time to time, or he gets kinda pissy and sulks around like a jerk.
I get it. It's understandable.
Oh, and while you're at it, either fix the people out there in the lobby who are setting fire to those people in the coffins, or move them somewhere else. I mean, we gotta leave here in a minute, and we gotta go through that door to get to our car, and Nurse D gets cranky if we can't walk directly from the door of our office to the front door and to our car.
It's true. I do get cranky.
See?
I will ask them to burn the coffins with the people inside them someplace else. Do you have a recommendation?
I don't know, probably just out back will be fine. What do you think, nurse?
Yeah, out back is probably good.
Oh, okay. I'll move my devoted followers out back. Are you sure neither of you want to join my cult? Nurse Disembody, you have been part of the cult. Didn't it feel good to be in it?
No, I actually hated it quite a bit. I'd rather go back to a normal, boring old church than be forced to join your cult again.
That's really bad. I really need to rethink how I run my cult.
Okay, cool. So, can you, do that someplace else?
Yeah, it's time to wrap up this episode and you're in the way.
Okay, but one day, maybe months from now, years from now, or it could be tomorrow, it maybe could have been yesterday, or even later tonight. You know, whenever it is least expected and stuff, I'll be back. Yes, I'll come back. The great Devilini. Away!
Well, I guess that's that, huh?
Yep, looks like it.
Cool.